That's the first time I've heard that, but I believe you, 40, that that is something that people say in the United States. I can totally buy into that.
And we say a lot of things here. Rapha versus cha1n underway, map number 1, and we are starting on the Professor himself, the Sausage King, grabbing that heavy armor and booking it to the Rockets, where we usually see the first fight, and are we going to see it right now? I think the players hurt each other, and it's just a matter of which way they decide to guess. Rapha prioritizing all of the weapons first, dropping down for that heavy machine gun. We've seen time and time again how big the sessing is on this map and how important it is to get that chip damage at range.
Both players, very reserved openings. Sometimes on Corrupted Keep, you just see one of them go for the super shoddy and rush the other one right off the bat. Didn't happen this time around. Rapha, not wasting any time using that injection ability. He wants to get that upper hand in terms of stack right away. Drops down, shoddy comes through, clutch, chain a decent amount of damage, but ultimately wasn't able to really connect with much.
Yeah, Rapha using that pocket mega, also stealing away all of the shards on the map. Able to double back and grab that light armor, and it looks like he's going to let the mega go for now, opting for the heavy. Again, he does have a pocket mega, so he doesn't have to play so much for the mega on this map as an Anarchy. But positioning again for the LG now and trying to figure out exactly where cha1n is, maybe setting up a trap. I think he just spotted him. There's the drop down. Lots of LG into machine gun. Perfect weapon switch. cha1n trying to just stay alive, taking just a disgusting amount of damage. Oh, hell.
I love how he delayed that shot as well until he was well into the room, just focusing on the air control, getting through that initial doorway and then dishing out the damage. Beautiful movement by Rapha right there, finishing up yet another frag. And indeed, as you pointed out yourself, for the Rapha prioritizing the heavy as he should, because he's got that injection, he can generate health on his own.
When you have that pocket mega, you don't have to worry about it as much. And that could prove to be absolutely fatal here for cha1n, as dealing with a pocket mega and constantly losing out on heavy armor is rough. He has no heavy pickups to his name so far. Big rocket from Rapha into LG, and that's enough. The tickle for the 4th frag. And this is where it's very dangerous, as off the spawn he catches him. More damage coming out, and cha1n can't do anything, Flea.
cha1n still has a solid chance of stabilizing before it gets out of hand, because the timing of the major items is all tied up. That means that Rapha should not, in theory, be able to just pick up both of them unless he gets a major advantage or a frag first. So cha1n will be able to again get away with the mega, but he's got to be careful that this does not get out of hand, because I fear that the moment that Rapha secures both and gets a solid rotation, a route between the both going, cha1n is going to be in real trouble. And that's saying something, given that he's already 6 frags behind.
cha1n is just so early for the mega, he doesn't even realize. And Rapha can take his time, using the buckshot to chip away at him, but the items are synced up. So again, the saving grace, as you mentioned, Rapha still doesn't technically have full map control, although looking at the scoreboard, you wouldn't know either way. There's the swap to the shoddy, not quite landing the damage he needed.
Good amount of nail gun damage too. I don't think Rapha was expecting to be hurt that badly. Had to fall back, was expecting to get away with a clean frag once again, but cha1n dealing good damage with that plasma. And Rapha has to fall back a little bit. Delaying heavy for a moment. There we go, there's a 5-second offset between the items. This could be what Rapha has. Heavy on time, he will have cemented full control.
Oh no, and the chase down is perfect from Rapha. Again, playing off the spawns beautifully. Now he's starting to Pac-Man the light armors as well. cha1n doubling back. Can he make it happen in the turnaround with the shotgun? Channeling his inner Omar there. Getting the buckshot off and getting his first frag, but Rapha right back in on the heavy off the spawn. Does have the inject in his pocket. Using a shotgun of his own here, trying to get the damage. The LG doing good work, 31 HP. Rocket jump to get the hell out of there. cha1n just wants to try and stay alive. Already trailing by 8 as we're getting closer and closer to the midway point of this fight, but he just hasn't challenged Rapha. Rapha looks way too comfortable, and he doesn't have a single mega to his name because, again, he has that pocket inject.
Yeah, and there, caught dead to right. Rocket uphill, not a position you ever want to be in. Not consistent, and look at that. Both players just caught in a dance in midair, and it's rapha who comes out on top. The better weapons for that fight. Rockets to the face, kind of fumbled the shotty for 1 or 2 shots right there, but cha1n unable to really capitalize off of it, and now 11 frags of a lead for the Liquid player.
Just brutal. Absolutely brutal. That last mega pickup was his first one in the game. Using that inject perfectly, saying, I don't even need to play towards that side of the map. I'll let you take it, and I'll just keep running up the spawns, controlling the heavy, not giving up a single heavy armor to cha1n right now in 5 minutes and 30 seconds, catching him up the jump pad, making it look easy, and now again can run the spawn.
cha1n putting himself in a bad position right there, no way out. And this time as well. Now the items are tied up again, but 40 doesn't even matter when you're already 13 frags behind.
I don't think so. And again, using the inject, and he's able to use the speed boost to get both items. And cha1n just left with nothing. The peeker play, the Hail Mary. Getting a little bit of damage. Ooh, okay. Almost turns it around, but the shotgun, that rocket just zipping by the Mohawk of Anarchy. Would have been brilliant, but it still would have been a lot of work after that. But instead, rapha just looks to keep claiming and adding to the body count here on Corrupted Keep, the first map of the series. And cha1n is calling it. 6 minutes, 34 seconds in, time of death. Call it, Philippe. Book it.
Yeah, the GG coming through. cha1n lost the will to fight, understandably so. Even if he turns it around, even if he's given full control, I just really don't see a way for him to make up such a large deficit against rapha playing like this.
And just more. I swear, I say this every time, every show, I don't care. rapha gets paid per frag, right? Because he just, the way he's just like, I'm gonna hit 20 every map or be upset with myself is absolutely ludicrous.
Or maybe he's worked out some deal with Liquid that they do pay him per frag. I wouldn't be surprised personally, because the man has absolutely been killing it. Super shotgun. Few people use the shotty as effectively as rapha does. He really has just mastered every single kit that he has in his arsenal.
Oh, man. Oh! All right. The Statue of Liberty play works and actually extends the life of cha1n. But yeah, the rapha show here on Corrupted Keep, playing it perfectly again. You could tell the strategy, right? I have Anarchy. I'm not even going to play towards the Mega until it is a perfect opportunity to steal it away. Yep. He just kept using the Inject as a pocket Mega and controlling the Heavy, not giving up a single one. And you could tell that cha1n was suffering because of it.
I think cha1n ultimately ended up putting himself too often in a bad position where he didn't have the weapons to take that fight, right? If you think back with me, 40, how many situations do you recall where rapha had the high ground, cha1n was down below, firing rockets up, hoping to connect something, while as rapha was just consistent with the LG or with the super shotgun from up above? I think those fights are ultimately what gave rapha that initial 5 frag lead, and then yeah, then there's that one point where rapha manages to offset the items, finds himself in a comfortable position where he can delay picking up the Mega, or the Heavy it was rather in this situation, and then he starts chaining both of them together, and cha1n, yeah, ultimately the weakest link. And now rapha, 25-1. Now, of course, it is a bit of an inflated scoreline since cha1n has
cha1n's just lulling him into a false sense of security. Yeah. He's going to come back in the last 30 seconds. We've seen it before. No, this is absolutely brutal. This is multiple victory laps here for rapha, as he is in the zone, and cha1n's stepping away, just praying that he can mentally reset. We talk about it all the time. After a shellacking like this, the best thing you could do is just memory dump the brain and just say, okay, map 2 is the first map, nothing happened, because this was just all rapha.
I mean, this is just that scene from Rocky him in the head over just to tire himself out, right? And then the bell goes for the next round, and all of a sudden rapha is he's been dishing out, and all of a sudden cha1n, it's not not how hard you can get hit, how much you can be hit and still keep going, and that's exactly what cha1n hopefully is going for today.
We'll see. It might happen. Yeah, I don't know. I think Rapha had the mentality of if he dies, he dies. It looked like he died a lot. 26-1 is going to be the final score on Corrupted Keep. Brutal, vicious, savage, wrecked, whatever the meme is. Yeah, cha1n's got to bounce back. It's going to be Awoken for map number 2. It's going to be Ranger versus Doom. As we take a look at the stats breakdown, again, slightly inflated, just a little. But it happens. I mean, we've seen Rapha break players' spirits before. This was no exception.
Indeed. Nothing out of the ordinary here, right? We mentioned before we started, cha1n has only secured one single map against Rapha in the entirety of the Quake Pro League, so don't think this was an unexpected outcome. Also, if we look at cha1n's matches so far, yes, he's beaten both Dramis and Saige, but Rapha is simply at a different level.
I agree, but cha1n did hit 100% super shotgun. So, takes that accuracy into the next map, it's a completely different ballgame.
Sure is. Let's take a look. Now, map 2, this is going to be something else entirely, right? We're dealing with Ranger versus the Doomslayer. What do you think about this matchup, 40?
I'm excited to see Greased Up Doom Guy, especially off the spawn flying through the map. Maybe cha1n has some shenanigans you can use, but I do feel the Dire Orb beats out the Berserk ever so slightly, so we will see. We will see if cha1n can mentally reset and kind of get a closer game, maybe a slower paced game. It is going to be an uphill battle mentally for cha1n. But, I mean, again, I feel like when you're going up against the greatest Quaker on Earth, it's kind of... the pressure should kind of be off in a way, because it's like you only have up to go. Everyone kind of expects, be it chat or, the casting booth, everyone kind of always goes with Rapha. So it's like, okay, nobody expects me to really make waves, so let me make waves. That's why it was so impressive when Maxter came on the scene, took down Rapha. That's why it's so impressive when Zen did it. Kilson 3-0, blew our minds. Maxter taking it 10-0 over Rapha. Those things are huge because the player you're going against is literally one of the best of all time, and you put on a performance like that. So I just feel like mental reset, fresh game, first map didn't happen, and just come out swinging. You got nothing to lose.
And there were a few really good plays by cha1n, right? Where he was being unpredictable, where he was playing in an unorthodox manner. I think the main one was when Rapha was chasing him out of the red room towards the heavy, and all of a sudden cha1n just turns around, stops dead in his tracks, charges right back in with the super shotty out, and got himself the frag. But that was a previous map. Now we are on to map number 2. This is Awoken. We've got Ranger versus Doom.
We are live indeed. Oh, he hears the LG. There's a rocket jump up to cut off. cha1n actually getting some good free damage there. Rapha just looking for the rockets, but getting caught out, just taking a little bit of chip. A little chippy. Ooh, and he's gonna get floated. There's the Dire Orb to get away, but cha1n doing a good job of keeping the pressure on, but the lightning gun's too strong. The stack, the mega, saving Rapha on that one.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is one of those key ways in which that Dire Orb is so versatile, right? You can be aggressive, you can be defensive, you can get out of sticky situations, and Rapha did that to perfection.
Beautiful double jump over that rocket, and this should be cha1n, 16 HP, pushing Rapha down into the heavy pit. This should be a good, clean mega here, as Rapha dancing around those rockets, trying to find the rail to do some damage after that pickup, but big opportunity here for cha1n. There it is, the shotgun up close, though! Almost! Rapha turns that around, cha1n able to tie it at 1, but he's so incredibly weak, Flea.
And he's got the heavy to his name, but the way that it works in Quake is that it does some of the damage you would take to your health, so cha1n still weak, has to focus on getting some of those orbs to put himself... Oh, nice rail there. And Rapha makes a push for it. Falls just short before the mega.
Oh, beautiful double jumps. I don't even know what that rail was. But it connects, and Rapha down to 50 HP, fighting for his life. He's going to concede the heavy and the rocket jump up to get out of the target range of cha1n with that rail. Very smart from Rapha there, extending his life. But cha1n extending the lead. Has the lead by 1, looking to capitalize here. Really nice rocket from Rapha. There's the push. There's the LG. Is it going to be enough? Can cha1n back up onto the Mega? He does, and it saves his life. Really good awareness there from cha1n. Ooh, okay. He's starting to string them together, chain them together, if you will, Flea. Oh, big! There's the steal, but that should be another frag, and it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Different cha1n.
This is looking good. Even gets himself the small armor to work with. Now Mega up in 5 seconds. cha1n has the better position. Rapha doesn't even have all the weapons to fight with yet, so nice rail as well. Perfect angle. And another one, cha1n. Good read as well. This is exactly what he needs to be doing. If he can now stop Rapha from picking up the railgun again, but just play like this, another frag to add to the lineup. This is so good for the Canadian.
3 minutes in, 6 frag lead, a different world right now. Rapha tiptoeing to that armor shard, dancing around the rails, cha1n trying to grab some damage. There's a fantastic rail, forcing him off the Mega. Can he make it in time? And he does. There's the Dire War back. What a play from Rapha, but it could cost him his life, and it does, but the steal could be huge for this next heavy, Flea.
I mean, this is an investment for Rapha, pushing himself on. And cha1n, even after picking it up, so this was just a strategic play. Rapha.
Big rocket from above. cha1n playing this to perfection right now. Also, it doesn't hurt that he's hitting 75% rail. Rapha with a rail of his own. That may have just won him the Mega, and it does. cha1n willing to concede that early as he doesn't have rockets. Now he's stuck in a sticky situation in the banana. A lot of potassium to be had here as he has to chill. LG on LG as Rapha smells blood. There's a rail on the way out, but the Dire Orb is going to melt him down. Just a matter of time. At that point, it was just max damage, and the spawn gives him the heavy. So all in all, not too terrible for cha1n.
Still has a 6 frag lead. Nice little buffer as well. It always feels like you're behind.
Nothing is ever certain against Rapha, that is for sure. We have seen him pull off some of the biggest upsets in the Quake Pro League. Most notably, I feel like, Wenger on Molten Falls.
Yep.
That game was absolutely incredible. Good rails exchange there. cha1n luckily has 225s to work with as he makes his way to the Mega, but it's not going to spawn for another 12 seconds. So now he's just caught out. There's the rocket jump from Rapha. The Dire Orb from above takes a lot of rocket damage, but absolutely catches cha1n off guard.
Slowly, Rapha creeping back into this. 7 frag deficit has been turned into a 5-kill one. And there's still half a map to play. Now cha1n is still comfortably in the lead, but I think that he knows just as well as we do that it can go south at any moment. So he has to continue applying pressure. He cannot give away everything to Rapha and switch full defensive this early on in the map.
Absolutely not. cha1n has to keep his presence known across the map on the majors. Must deny the lights, and there's one denied right there. As the Mega goes to Rapha, luckily for cha1n. Good footwork to make him miss the rail, and oh, big defensive rocket as well.
Nice. Shots being exchanged. Another shot. Just before the heavy spawned.
Ooh, and the read. Rapha knowing exactly where cha1n wants to go, and cha1n takes out cha1n. As the lead is cut down to 4.
Let's see, how is cha1n going to hang on to his lead? Heavy. Looks like it will be going towards Rapha. Oh, that's a decent amount of tribal damage as well. I like what cha1n's doing. Still applying pressure, still doing good damage.
Does take a rail, dishes out one indeed, but now it's getting to the point where he's doing the damage before the majors, and he's got to be very careful. There's the Dire Orb to close the gap. The shotgun doesn't actually land the way that Rapha wants. Does get the follow-up rail, luckily for him, but very dicey there, Flea.
Sure is. 3 frags, 3 minutes, more than enough time. But it's actually cha1n who's got the better positioning on the Mega. Oh no, that drop down! That's bad news for the...
Oh!
cha1n, what? Oh, what a nasty play! rocket jump, hugging the edge, and look, that is the reaction that we were talking about. That is what you want to make Rapha do in order to get the win. Beautiful LG as well.
Oh my god, and the rocket is good. Off the spawn, gets another one. And cha1n, with those 2 frags, has he done it? There's another play. Rapha trying to make it happen, but cha1n takes both of them out with his rocket and says no. The spawn, however, goes to Rapha. He's able to claim the Mega. Has enough weaponry to work with to try and get in on this heavy. Wow, these rockets are just incredible from cha1n. Good defensive rockets coming out, and we may see this full turtle mode coming as we have 2:10 left on the board. 6 frag lead. There's a good tickle, and cha1n doing exactly what you said. Not going full defensive, not going full passive, but instead defensive enough to do damage on the items, keep the chip damage up, and not make things easy for Rapha. And that's exactly what he has to do for at least another 2 minutes to try and steal this map away, Flea. We could have a series on our hands.
Absolutely. I don't think a lot of people were expecting that after the first map, at least how it ended, but, you know, cha1n, it took him a few minutes to regain his composure, focus on map 2, and it's really paying off for him. He's gonna give up heavy. Oh, he probably heard that rocket jump, knows exactly where Rapha's going for. Nice defensive rockets, you pointed it out yourself. The Canadian is landing some nasty shots today. And using that double jump very effectively to maneuver around the map and steer clear of Rapha. And now this is becoming dire. 80 seconds for 6 frag. I know this is Rapha that we're talking about, but still.
Have we seen a single Berserk? We have not seen Greased Up Doom Guy come out at all, I don't think.
I don't.
Dire can close the gap. There it is! Right on cue, and the shotgun puts an end to that. Do not bring fists to a shotgun fight. Ill-advised.
I mean, it's a tricky thing in the matchup, right? Because cha1n is using that ability of his so little, that means that he's leaving up every single hourglass for Rapha. And that makes for a lot of orbs, very effective orbs that we've seen too. Now Rapha is pretty close to dying right there, but has some resources as well as the Mega to work with. All cha1n has to do is keep his distance, run down the clock. Rapha kind of botching the rocket jump right there. Buying cha1n quite a bit of time.
Oh my god, the defensive rockets are so good, and the trade comes out, and surely that seals it with 20 seconds.
That should be it. cha1n. First time, I believe, since 2019 that he's taken a map of Rapha in the Quake Pro League. And it may even turn into a series. We've got a battle on our hands.
He really poutine the work, as you saw there. 7-11. Shouts to my dad. Big shouts to cha1n for taking a map off of Rapha, making this a series, and potentially cha1n in position to take down Rapha. Wow.
That would be an upset, right? For Rapha to lose first to Dramis earlier on in the season, then to Kilson, and now maybe cha1n as well, but let's see. We've seen more players than just those come close to taking down Rapha. But let's see what happens next. There's still one more map to go, and I think that the odds are still heavily in favor of Rapha.
It's, you know, it's any given Saturday. Like I said, we say that a lot, but this is exactly why we say that. I'm sure everyone in chat had it a lock 3-0 for Rapha, but cha1n coming up big, taking away Awoken, but can he put it together on Blood Covenant? I'm not sure if I'd say that this is Rapha's best map, certainly one of his stronger maps, but as you mentioned, cha1n is actually going to be on the Nyx. Rapha on the Visor. He's no stranger to Visor, but this makes for an interesting map, and more so an interesting set decider between these two players, Flea.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a matchup that I feel was very common, right, in some of the earlier iterations of Quake Champions, when the meta was very different. In a way, that Piercing Sight is a hard counter to Nyx, but that's really fallen off since.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see, because now cha1n has this momentum, I feel like.
Yeah.
The confidence is there. I just beat Rapha on Awoken. Pretty big deal, I would say. And let's see if he can use that to his advantage. I mean, the rail was absolutely on fire. Let's see if he can keep that up as well. Still has the mobility, similar to Doom, not exactly the same, but can traverse the map pretty quickly. And we'll see. If cha1n takes down Rapha 2-1, I feel like chat might explode.
If only there were predictions right now. Imagine the channel points that could have been won or lost in that previous map for the. It would be madness.
It would be madness, but that's why we take it away. I don't take it away. I don't know. Don't blame me, Chad. I mean, you can. You could blame it all on me. It's fine.
Final map. It all comes down to this. Yeah, 40. People always blame you. You're such a nice guy.
I know.
Why is that?
It's I got a face to blame and a punch. I don't know. But map number 3, Blood Covenant between Rapha and cha1n. We're going to get into it right now. And we're going to settle this. Can cha1n break the curse? He's already taken a map first in 2 years against Rapha, as you mentioned. We're going to start off on Rapha. He's got that visor. He's got the vision.
Now we have seen this map go disastrously wrong for Rapha not too long ago when he was playing against Maxter, right? It was really a masterclass by Maxter on how to come out on top in Blood Covenant, so let's see.
You gotta wonder if that's in the back of Rapha's mind. I got shut out last time I played this map in the Quake Pro League. Is it gonna happen again? I have a feeling Rapha will not allow that. Both players landing their rails and then retiring to their respective items, so the items will still be in sync. Rapha doing a good job of prioritizing those vials. The vials may be the key here between these two champs. Flea. The Ghost Walk, very important. The vision to counteract. Potential for aggressive plays on both ends. And oh, cha1n right behind Rapha. Did they grab a glimpse of each other? It looked like he did. He's just waiting for the perfect opening. Oh, flubs it. Just barely missing out. And Rapha's like, wait a minute. What in the world? What a rocket from cha1n, though. Ooh. Just missing out on a rail. Big opportunity here. cha1n has to try and land some damage. And the tri-bolt flying over, sailing over Nyx's head. Still has the Ghost Walk in his pocket. But a little peculiar on the positioning now as he's given up the Mega. He's going to have to opt to go lower and try and work off this light armor here. And now the vision's popped. cha1n trying to hold on to the Ghost Walk, weather the storm, if you will. And another heavy for Rapha. That's a full stacked visor. And welcome back to the 40 Lion show here. So still tied at 0. Looking for a good opening rail. Able to connect, but again, this damage is right before the Mega, so not the biggest deal. Rapha will take those all day. And the more damage that cha1n does like that, the more items that Rapha can fall back on and deny. And there's a big LG ambush there as cha1n mistimes the jump pad, has to use the Ghost Walk, and now he's just trying to get some damage. Gets bullied off the bridge with the tri-bolt. Does hit a rail. Now he's just got to get the hell out of there. There's one big rail here, and there's the rocket jump, and oh my god, Rapha still almost hit that shot. cha1n's still extremely weak and railable. And Rapha just makes it look easy. Gets the drop on him, absolutely electrifying. Puts up his first frag. There will be no shutout this time, Chad. 1-0 in favor of Rapha as cha1n does have the rail, makes his great escape. Does a good job of doubling back to get some damage before the heavy pickup. More importantly, we'll have the Ghost Walk. 2 seconds. Gets another rail. I like the reposition. Doing a good job of repositioning and getting damage. Maybe even a third rail here. Ooh, that rocket was almost gorgeous. And Rapha able to string together 2 before the Mega pickup. Rail spawn for cha1n. Hits 2 of his own, and oh, the combo hit him with the 2-piece. Rapha's like, you're not going to hit 3 on me. I refuse. You are not allowed. Ghost Walk right in the nick of time there, especially after the connection with the rail of his own. cha1n looking to try and capitalize on this. Unfortunately missing with the second one, and there's the vision. Now Rapha has all the knowledge and information he needs and hits a great drive-by. cha1n with a good defensive rail, but he's so weak that's going to send him packing, and Rapha knows. Smells blood, almost gets it, but more importantly just denies armor shards. Makes his way back to the heavy, doing a great job of applying pressure, but keeping items at the forefront of his game here. 3-0 lead for Rapha as well. yes, you are tuned into 40 Lions Radio, unfortunately. So go ahead and mute the stream. I don't care. Decent rocket there from rapha as he's trying to ward off cha1n from getting those rockets, but does have rockets in his pocket. The problem is cha1n needs some items. Gonna make his way onto the Mega, but he has to pop the Ghost Walk, taking big damage, and that rocket almost chased him. But rapha will chase him instead, and the LG takes him down again. 4-0 halfway through this one. It's looking pretty bleak right now for cha1n. 2 heavies, 1 Mega. Rough. Item control. All rapha. And as Flea is dealing with denial of service, cha1n is dealing with denial of items. Just cannot find a way into this one. There's an easy rail and stuck on the jump pad. Has to pop the Ghost Walk just to survive. And that is what cha1n is dealing with. Popping the ability just to stay alive. Not even to grab items, not even to finish a kill, just to stay alive. And he turns the corner into a whole boatload of machine gun. Nice again. Good try, Bolt. Can it be a mad dash for heavy as cha1n makes his way over? Spots it. rapha's right there to deny it. Rails from both players. cha1n has to make magic happen. And there is the Ghost Walk again, and he has to just run. Turn, tail, and run. Use those big old Nyx feet and get away. Does get the Mega. Misses out with the rail. I love that wall jump to get one last chance, but it puts him in a terrible position as rapha was ready for it. Hits a rail of his own, 20 HP, and cha1n just has to do the dance. And he's trying so hard to just stay alive that there's no way that he could really get back into this unless he strings together another one. But rapha with a good switch to machine gun, knowing that cha1n is low, peppering him down to 6 for his 6th frag. And I think after last week, rapha might want to put up a 10-0 of his own. Good LG as cha1n hits a rail. Hesitant to pick up the Mega. Wisely waits as the Tri-Bolt lobbed from down below. Surely would have done him in. Fantastic rail from cha1n looking for another. Doesn't have LG to work with. Has to make rockets work. Potentially. Swap back to rail here is 50 HP. But at this point, he doesn't have much of a choice. Less than 3 minutes, down 6. You got to start making plays on these items. There's the vision pop for a little bit of insurance, and rapha is able to claim that one as cha1n has to concede. Oh, wow. There's a rail. There's another rail attempt as cha1n, 2 minutes left. And at this point, he's just playing to hug the ropes. He's not really doing anything to try and get him back in the game. And rapha's not allowing it, more importantly, as he's just hitting all the rails, trapping him at the Mega.
No clue what the
drops down, and there's another frag. And 7 frags in less than 2 minutes. I have seen some crazy things, chat, but I'm not sure that this is going to be one of them. A comeback would be absolutely insane. It would take all 10 spots on the highlight reel as the nail's pushing cha1n away. Doesn't even look like he could buy a rail anymore. Shooting 45%, rapha hitting 56% rail. But that really wasn't the tale of this game. Item control in rapha's favor, 13 heavies, 10 megas, 2 heavies, and 5 megas for cha1n. And this was just a, oh, why do you have to do him like that? Why? There's people watching. cha1n has a family. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what's going on with the comm, so it's fine. As rapha hits another fadeaway, putting up 10-0. And this is what happens. This is like the Jordan comeback game. You may beat Jordan once, but he's going to come back and he's going to make you pay. So Maxter is to blame for this.
seems like I've walked into quite a one-sided game.
Yeah, Flea.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much.
No.
It was kind of grotesque, to be honest. It might be uploaded to some sort of hub. I don't know, but 12-0 is going to be the stamp at the end of this one. Rapha taking it over cha1n. cha1n making it interesting with map number 2, but map number 3 was just the comeback game for Rapha. After what Maxter did to him, he's passing the pain over. cha1n, unfortunately, on the receiving end. Welcome back, Flea. It's good to have you. I missed you. And chat hates me, so please help.
They
help
love
me
you.
help you.
Just giving the people what they want. 10 minutes of uninterrupted 4D lines.
Oh my
goodness.
God, that's someone's nightmare out there.
Yeah, no, that was just one side that I watched it the best that I could. 61% railgun accuracy on someone as small and slippery as Nyx. That's, of course, key to Rapha's victory here. And he just played a very patient game. You could see it from the very start when he was already sitting on that railgun, denying it from cha1n, not giving him that key tool that he needed to make this a competitive matchup. So Rapha went into this with a plan, slow play it, be defensive, force out that ghost walk, and then just chase down the Nyx with that piercing sight so you can always pick up on their location.
Yeah, just brutal. I mean, that is Rapha at its finest, right? Using Visor. Yeah. I mean, name a better combination to player to champ. I mean, Kilson and Nyx, absolutely top tier. I would say Rapha Visor, top tier. And it was a masterclass on Blood Covenant. Unfortunately, cha1n just couldn't even get into the game. As Ketchup would say, he didn't even get to play the game. 12-0. Rapha takes the set 2-1. Again, big shouts to cha1n for a fantastic showing on map number 2. But in the end, Rapha takes the series, and that's why he's so good. He's able to bounce back from those map losses. He's able to adapt mid-game as well and really take control. And yeah, I mean, again, keep harping on this. 3 weeks until, you know, the end of regulation, and then we have a little break, and then the LAN in Romania. So Rapha trying to fire on all cylinders. I'm sure that map loss is going to haunt him a little bit because he's a perfectionist, but still a great showing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rapha, I mean, he's guaranteed to have a good spot, but he doesn't just want a good spot. He wants the best spot. He wants the #1 seed, and he's really contending with Kilson over that spot. So every single win is still really important for him.
Every single win matters, and it's money in your pocket. And speaking of money, we're going to get into a lot of money matches here. 2 featured matches left. We're going to get DJ Weed in here to kind of professional, you know, sweep up things and make it cleaner because I'm a mess right now. Flea, I don't blame you for anything. Blame me. But we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.